So what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am David. On today's episode, we're going to be making cowboy candy. We're really excited about this particular recipe. It's a very basic form. There are a ton of videos on making cowboy candy, and there's 1,000 ways. Each video you watch will show you a different way of how to make it. I feel as though I'm going to be using the most basic recipe. There are only a few ingredients: sugar, salt, apple cider vinegar, and your jalapenos. That's it. So keeping it simple, very specifically because I have never made cowboy candy before. So I want to use the most basic ingredients, the most basic steps possible. So that way next year I could potentially add my own ingredients or add my own different things, the cumins and all the other spices that some people say definitely to put in. And I can do it a bunch of different ways. Also, my jalapeno harvest was not a huge one this year. I'm only doing 3 pounds for this particular batch, and that was pretty much all I actually got out of the entire garden anyway, because we didn't have, if you saw, I'll leave a link in the description below, but we just did our final harvest, and I pretty much got 3 pounds, just a little bit over 3 pounds actually, let me be very clear about that, but we're going to be making some jalapeno poppers, so we're going to use the rest of those for jalapeno poppers, and that's going to be that. So we're going to jump right into this. Alright guys, I wanted to give you a quick look at my setup. I got my canner here. I have 4 half-pint containers and I have 4 4-ounce containers. I'm really not too sure how many it's supposed to make up, but if my math roughly serves me correctly, I think I should be okay. We'll see what happens. Then I got I have my Dutch oven, which we're gonna cook everything down in, and then I got my screw top lids and the lids in there ready to get boiled up for sanitizing. We're also gonna sanitize our jars in this also. We're about to get all of this going. And then the mama owns a cool little food processor attachment here for the KitchenAid. So we're going to be using that to slice up all of our jalapenos. I've never used it before, so I'm pretty excited to use it. And then we got our ingredients. I have 4 cups of sugar. We have 2 teaspoons of salt, non-anodized. This is Himalayan pink sea salt personally. And then this is going to be 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and those are all the ingredients. We're going to keep this very simple. The kitchen's a mess, but we have to get a job done. So first thing we're going to do, and I already started doing this, is take the tops off. Take the tops off. While we're slicing up our jalapenos, we want to go ahead and get the boiling process started. So we're going to turn this guy on high, turn this guy on high, so that way we're starting to sanitize our lids and all that fun stuff. And then while we're cutting, this stuff will cover the boil because it takes a long time to get this up to a boil. Now, right or wrong, I bring my water up to a boil with the jars in it, so that way the jars don't get, you don't bring a cold jar in a hot water, because that's going to crack the jar. If you hear my son in the background, he's having a good time watching a movie. I do have kids. I will not apologize for them, but I do have kids, guys. So, and that's my daughter. So I bring these up to a boil with the jars in the water. That's how I do it, right or wrong. If somebody's watching this video and you know a different way, or this is not the right way to be doing it, please let us know in the comments. Let's all learn together. All right, also to make room on my countertop, I'm just going to go ahead and pour everything into the pot and get that going too, and let it start dissolving down so I can bring my jalapenos over here because I got no room. It's a small kitchen, like I said. So let's move. We're going to go ahead and dump everything into the pot, and we're going to get this whole thing started. Two cups, salt, sugar, 4 cups, 2 teaspoons of salt, 4 cups of sugar. I think I've already said it, but just in case, say it again. I'm going to turn this guy on to, I don't know, medium, I guess, somewhere in there, just to start getting it going. We'll grab ourselves a rubber spatula to turn it around. And that'll be that. We'll get that dissolved down, and while that's going, we're going to go ahead and get this guy fired up, and let's get some jalapenos done. We got everything moved around. Let's get this guy fired up. Hopefully that's a good setting. All right, so here we go. They didn't come out like perfect slices on this guy, but I'm not looking for perfect slices. I don't really care as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, it could be more of a relish type of a consistency as far as I'm concerned. Just because it's going, we're scooping this with crackers and cream cheese. We're pouring this on stuff. You're eating it by the spoonful, so it does not matter. I don't really care if it's, perfectly beautiful as far as slices are concerned. But this made short work of it. Thank you. Give you guys a quick look. Oh yeah, thank goodness, look at that. Saved me a lot of headaches. All right, let's move on. This is the part of the game where you definitely want to try your jalapenos and see how spicy it's gonna be. Whoa, that's got some heat. That's really good. All right, so we're still stirring this. This guy's coming up to a boil, so it's 7:05 now, p.m., and we're gonna go ahead and wait till 7, we'll say 7:10, 7:15, something like that, and let those boil for a few minutes. Then we'll go ahead and cut them down and let them sit there until we're actually ready to use them, and we'll start canning our goods. But we're still waiting for this guy to come to a boil, and like I said, this takes a while to come up to a boil just based on how much volume of water you have. This guy's boiling, looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty dissolved. That's boiling pretty well. It's been only 5 minutes, 7:10. We'll give it a bare minimum another 5 minutes of a good boil, so just get it on up there. Looking hot. We're going to take our jalapenos. We're going to go ahead and put them in this guy. Now we're going to go ahead and give these a good stirring in this solution. It stopped boiling obviously because of the temperature of the jalapenos versus the water, which is fine. Bring it back up just a little bit. We're going to give this a good, once it comes to a boil, we'll give this a good 5 minutes also to boil down, to shrink up the jalapenos a little bit. All right, so we're at 7:16. We're going to give it 4 more minutes and we're going to cut this guy down because that hasn't been boiled long enough. We're still waiting for this to come up to it. Oh, this is boiling. Nice, so this pot is officially boiling too. So we're going to give this 15 minutes also. So at 7:30, we'll pull these guys out. And I have a towel down here just so they don't crack by hitting the cold countertop here and stuff like that. And then we're going to put this into those jars. It'll be super awesome. Let's go. At 7:15, I actually turn these guys off so they can start simmering back down. They should be plenty good to go now. Turning the temperature on this a little bit up so it can get to a faster boil. Because in 12 minutes time, we're going to go ahead and pull these jars out of here. Let's turn it back up a little bit. We're going to pull these guys out of here. The sanitation process will be done. We'll fill them up. We'll put them back in with their lids and everything. And we'll put them back in the canner for roughly 15 minutes for my particular situation and my altitude. Now check out, Google something about where you're at and for your particular situation, because I don't want to give you advice as to how long you should pressure can yours for. But I'm doing mine for about 15 minutes. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes of this for sanitation purposes. We're going to go ahead and get this out of here. We're going to do one of those. And this I cut off already because it's good to go. So we're going to move this and relocate it to over there. And we're going to go ahead and fill it up and put it back in and get this done. Use this to push down any air bubbles. All right, we're going to grab ourselves a clean dry towel. We're going to wipe the lids, check for any notches, make sure you don't feel anything silly. This is canning 101, or jarring 101. It's clean and dry. These are nice and warm still. Be careful. They're not that hot. You can't touch them though. So for the record, I did have more than enough room. I used 2.5 pints and 4 of my little guys, which is equivalent of one of these half pints. So I could have just used 3 half pints and got it all, but I prefer to have a couple of small personals just for me to use very personally. We're going to go ahead and grab our lids, put them on, and drop this guy back in the water bath to get them sealed up. Grab the outside, try not to touch the rubber ring so they seal right. You don't have to smoke these things down either. Just barely a hand tight even, as far as I'm concerned. Like, do what you want, but barely a hand tight. Now I'm gonna let those sit there just for a few seconds there, a few minutes, kind of get the everything up to speed, up the temperature just really quick, and then I'm gonna drop it all down, put the lid on, and I personally am gonna give it 15 minutes. It is 7:45 p.m. We're gonna give it 15 minutes. At 8 p.m. these are coming out. So what I decided was I was going to leave one of these out because I actually don't need to water bath all of them because this is going to get consumed immediately. Those guys I want to put on the shelf and maybe even potentially gift one or two of them to a friend of mine. Other than that, we're going to need some out so we can try this out. Alright guys, it is 8 p.m. so it has been 15 minutes and we're just going to pop these guys out and give them a few minutes to set right up here. Just a minute or two. I still hear my 3-year-old up, my 1-year-old is asleep. But we're going to deal with that in a second. We're going to let these guys cool off for a minute. We're going to put them there on the towel. Alright, so it's been just under 5 minutes. It's 8:04. I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys on out. And we're just going to set them here on this here towel. Let them finish cooling off the rest of the way. Let them sit overnight. I am really excited. This should be awesome. And that's it. We have Cowboy candy that is canned, jarred. Alright guys, so it has been overnight. We let these guys settle. We let them rest. And they are looking delicious, but I can't leave you guys without a little taste test. Also, I made some quick jalapeno poppers, is what prompted this whole thing just now. Because I thought I was going to have to make, I was going to do some cream cheese, some regular cream cheese, with some crackers, with some Cowboy candy on it. But I have just a little bit of cream cheese left over from making my jalapeno poppers. I just throw a little sharp cheddar, shredded sharp cheddar cheese in the cream cheese, stir it up, and just kind of pack them in, and then throw them in the oven. I wrap 2 in bacon because, in my opinion, everything is better with bacon. So that being said, I want to give you guys a quick sampling, or I want to do a taste test for you guys, let you know what I think and my thoughts on my first experience making Cowboy candy. That's good. You know what that tastes like? It tastes like I need another bite. Like I said, that's just a little cheddar in the little bit of cheddar in my cream cheese from the jalapeno poppers. Oh. All right, guys. So my thoughts is that is really good. They're spicy. They're sweet. They got some crunch to them still, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm really liking that by a lot. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to shout out Becky from Acre Homestead. That's where I got my recipe from scratchpantry.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll leave her channel in the description below also, with the respect that, let's be extremely clear, her channel is way bigger than my channel and she needs no introduction on my channel. But I do want to pay my my respects, I want to say, to her and her channel. I love her channel, awesome channel. When I'm making breakfast and lunch for the kids, it's on constant play in the background just to see what she's up to. And she had a very simple, this was the simplest recipe. Because next year I'm hoping to grow a whole bunch more where I can make, put different seasonings in and different things in and see what I want to do. Or is just a simple one just good for me? Because right now, that is really, really good. I don't know that I could add anything to that. Like in my mind right now, I'd be like, oh, if I had this flavor in there, it would make it better. I don't know, but I also won't know until I try it. So hopefully next season we'll get a boatload more of jalapenos and we can try some different seasoning and see what happens then. So just on the off chance Beck ever sees the video, what up, Beck? Granted, I don't think she'll ever see the video, but it's okay. So here we go. That's going to end this video, guys. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. What a great time chilling in my kitchen, doing some stuff. These are the first few videos. I've only got a few videos in my kitchen doing stuff, or outside gardening, or or outside doing dehydrating, or whatever the case may be. Only because the garden season wasn't that great. So hopefully next year we'll have a lot more making stuff making videos about making different, preserving different things. There we go. So As always, guys, two things. Don't forget to take the time to enjoy what you do. And don't forget, work does not do itself. So don't be afraid to get out there and get after it. Cowboy candy on the popper. I had to do it. No regrets there. That is so good.